Record to the cloud. If I can share my screen. Okay. You can see that now in browser.
Yep.
Okay, great. I'll get this started then. All right, March 11th for community meeting. Today,
We
don't
can't.
have a lot. You can't hear me?
It's seeing like in the screen. It's like the your Rook Slack channel.
Oh, it's the wrong window. Okay, let's try this again. Share Chrome. Okay, how about now? That's probably better.
Yep.
Okay, thanks for pointing that out. Alrighty, so I don't have a lot in the agenda other than kind of milestone checkups and things. So feel free to add any topics you'd like to talk about. Oh, that's from last time. Okay. Well, first of all, since our meeting last month, we have had a few patch releases. We had 1.15.9. This was last week. And also 1.16.4 and 5. The notable change last week in those releases was that we all also push now to other repos. So I think people are excited about that. Thanks, Subham, for working through that to get images pushed up to Quay and GHCR. Yeah, so thanks for doing that. I think the next step there is then to also get the Helm charts published to the new spots. So.
Yes, I did look at that, and then I lost the track of that one. When I was trying to test via the CLI, I was able to push the charts, but when I was trying with my fork GitHub action, I was getting lots of authentication errors. So I had something else to look at. So I lost the track on that.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe it's just an authentication issue, and that'll be a small change too, once we figure it out. Sounds good. Okay. I guess I could open the project board. So 1.15 project board, yeah, no issues really to report or urgent issues I'm aware of. And unless something else comes up, we may not need another 1.15 patch release. So we'll see about that. So maybe I'll put a question mark next to 1.15.10.
I wonder if we should be trying to collect metrics so we have a sense of what version of the operator people are actually deployed on.
Right. We do actually have the ability to opt into Ceph metrics where we report versions like that. So honestly, I wonder if we have some of that already. I just need to go look at the graphs of it, because that would be helpful for sure to see how many people are on it.
Yeah, I realized actually recently that I wasn't opted into Ceph metrics a lot of places, so I've been going around and making sure that it's part of my fleet deployment to make sure it gets turned on. So if we can just hook into that, then at least for me, I would already be on board with sending the operator version.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, there will be still lots of people running the older versions. So I'm just curious about how long that tail is or what percentage are updated. Yeah, to know. Because at this point, probably we don't need to backport anything to 1.15. People should be on 1.16 if they're reasonably updating, at least. But I know that tail is long. And then the 1.16 project board, there are still some issues, but it's kind of more of a best effort, or we'll see when we get these things. I don't think there's anything urgent or blocking that we need to get in soon either. But if there is, I mean, please do add them to blocking release and we can chat about them in Slack. So yeah, any comments about the patch releases, 115 or 116? Okay, so 1.17. So we talked about tentative dates for this next minor release being second week of April. So we're about a month out from that tentative release. We thought just with KubeCon coming up, a few of us are traveling. I'll be there for KubeCon in London. It'll be hard to do that. The release um, that first week of April, just after I get back, probably we'll try and finish off that release. If we can get the branch created and get that in motion before I take off the last week of March, we'll plan on that. As far as what's in the project board for 1.17, there's probably more that we need to update here and understand what we're really looking for as far as features that we want to ensure are in the release. So if there are any features that you really want to make sure are in 1.17.0, we want to get them in a blocking column. I guess we don't have a blocking column. I need to add the blocking column. And then we'll start tracking more actively towards that. Yeah, one open question maybe to bring up here is this 15271 and whether we enable the CSI operator by default. It's in experimental mode right now. And kind of the one main requirement that we have for that, or the critical one at least, is CSI operator owners need to declare the CRDs as V1 beta 1. Because right now they're still in alpha, and that doesn't work for us if they're not going to claim they're at least beta, which beta gives us backward compatibility for future releases. So that, yeah, that one still needs discussion. And I don't know, Subham, any other comments here on that one?
No, I think that was you covered that one, and I think mainly we are waiting from the CSI operator team on that one, like to make it um, more stable with the API version and other, like V1
Yeah,
or beta 1 at least.
exactly. Yeah, to make sure it's stable is really the key. A stable transition as we move over to CSI operator. And other things, I think these other things here are mostly just nice to have features and nothing really required. So yeah, I need to review again everything going on, and let's just be clear about what we require in the release and see what we can get into the release, and we'll work towards that. But I guess time is running short for that if we're only a few weeks out, plus KubeCon in the middle.
Yeah, I put in chat a PR that I've been working on that I would like to get in before 1.17.0 because I think there's a small chance that someone might observe a regression with that. And so I was hoping to get it into a .0 start of a new minor release series.
Which one is that? Is that this base image?
No, I
Or
didn't put it in there. I just put it in the Zoom chat. It's
oh, okay.
15359.
Yeah. 15359.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I'd be done with this
Credential.
long ago, but it got pushed aside for other stuff. I started work on it again yesterday. The minor thing that I'm concerned could happen is if someone is using Ceph Object Store user and then manually adding additional credentials to it from the command line Rados Gateway admin, this would end up purging those. And that might be a behavior that somebody goes, oh, I was dependent on that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to add. Well, is the issue already in the 117 board? Usually, okay. So it's marked for 116. do you think this is more of a 117 feature then, or
I would like to put it into a minor, just like I said, because if somebody is dependent on that behavior, which there's nothing in the documentation or anywhere that guarantees that behavior, but if somebody's dependent on it, they might. But I spent a lot of time wrestling with this. If we don't do the sort of cleanup of credentials, it interferes with migrating back and forth between the scenario where you've explicitly declared keys and not. So I just got that working yesterday, an integration test where you can have an existing SEPT object store user as it is today. You can add explicit keys. And when you add those explicit keys, it goes and deletes the operator managed secret for it. And you can do the inverse. You can remove the explicit keys, and then it will go back and create the operator managed secret. And as part of that, I'm cleaning up all of the keys that are in there. I mean, I suppose we could just let them accumulate, but
Mhm. Yeah, makes sense. So I've tagged the issue then for 117.
But my concern
Yeah.
about not doing it that way is that somebody could remove an explicitly declared key with the intent to retire that key, and then if it gets left, that's a security issue. So
Right. Okay. Sounds good. All right. And then, yeah, Parth, you added this squid as a base image. That's my PR that I opened months ago, and
Uh,
it's got a CI issue. So
correct. So I was just thinking like this 1.17 might require that, or so we can make it as a blocker, or we can go without this with 1.17.
so far, at least in practice, we haven't seen that it's a blocker, but I'm surprised we haven't seen any blockers because since squid is our default version, but we're still using a reef base image, that yeah, it just works better when the base image is for the operators on the same version. So we definitely need to get that. Did you try pinging Jiffin on that a while back? I think we need our GW team to look into that failure. So
That's correct. I guess Shubham
yeah.
did some changes there. I don't remember if that was related to this.
Yeah.
Jiffin was saying something related to needs to be changed with some user that I forgot, but I should have written somewhere. So I can share that with you, part.
Is it in the PR or somewhere else?
Somewhere else, I think on my PR or my issue when I was looking at the RGW can test, or maybe in Slack DM with you.
I guess it would be in the issue, I guess, the issue in the last comment. So we can track that there. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. So if we can get follow up there, I would really like to get this one done because I don't, even though if it maybe isn't a strict blocker for 1.17, I don't want it to delay much longer either. So for now, I think I like the idea of marking it as a blocker and let's make it a priority. We just need RGW help.
I think changing the base image in the middle of a minor series would be, I don't know, risky.
More risky, exactly. Yeah, we do certainly try to do it with the new minor releases. Okay. So yes, let's plan it. All right, any other comments around 117?
I actually moved my production to master as of like a week ago. Nothing blew up, if that's helpful.
Intentionally? Wow.
Yeah, I needed some features that were on master, not backported to 116. So I decided to go for it, and it hasn't bitten me yet.
Now, did you use a specific master tag, or is it just using Steph :master?
So it was just for master with nothing added on. So I just forked it, and then I created my own tag. In the fork, yeah. So it's one. I tagged it as 1.17.0-LSST1, which was my tag. and then I just publish the Helm charts as a package into GitHub or in GH Pages, and then that's what I'm running from now for my production.
Okay, that's interesting to hear. That I mean, as long as it's not a moving tag, because the master tag gets updated with every time you push, right? So that's the main thing I wanted to avoid, or I'd suggest avoiding. Okay. Otherwise, we can move on to other things. So KubeCon coming up. So yeah, Artem and I are plan on meeting tomorrow with Topeka and Madhu to talk through our slides. Yeah, we'll plan on being there and presenting. It'll be a good time. So I don't know if there's anything else we need to bring up here. Questions or comments around KubeCon otherwise?
Just wanted to check, like, do we get any mail around KubeCon Hyderabad? That's India, Hyderabad. I guess it's planned around August. Or
We're getting a Rook talk, for example.
yeah, so I just wanted to understand, like, do we have any mail from them, like, regarding that?
But not yet. Usually, I mean, there's different deadlines to look for KubeCon. So the first one is they ask for call for papers for generally everybody who wants to submit papers. But the maintainers talks are different from that. So they send out mail. Usually it seems like around the time of the deadline for the first CFP. Then they send out mail to ask for the maintainers talks proposals. So I have not seen that email yet for Bangalore. Is it Bangalore or wherever it is in India?
Yeah,
No.
it's a different city, yeah. Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Okay. So yeah, I'll definitely discuss that when I see it. Do other people get those mails, or I don't know why I'm the only one? I think it's been getting them.
I get those. I think the
You see 'em?
maintenance get them. Yeah.
All the maintainers. Okay, that's good. I've just been responding to them, so okay, good to hear. If nothing else on KubeCons, just a couple of notes from previous things around Ceph. The Ceph releases, it continues. There's a couple of issues. 18.2.2 still has OSDs failing on ARM. So anybody with ARM, I guess update to Squid is the only fix there. And then 19.2.1 was released a few weeks back, and that's our default version we release with. And I've seen 18.2.5 is in progress, but I'd be surprised if it is out very soon. It just always takes time to work through CI issues, and 18.2.5 in progress. So we'll see when that release comes out, but our default's already higher than that on 19, so not really impactful, I guess, in general. And that's all I see in the agenda for today. So I'll open it up. Does anybody else have any topics you'd like to bring up? Questions, comments, complaints?
Hi, I'm Sunat.
Hi.
So yeah, I time to time join this Rook community meetings. I wanted to discuss, but I'm not sure. Today's I brought the topic, but I'm not sure if it's suitable for this one. I think this one is more like a planning for you. My one. The thing is, I wanted to talk about, like, you can probably direct me to the correct meeting, basically. So this is PR I share on the chat. So yeah, this is the implementation of TLS to the Rook orchestrator, and today I had a discussion regarding that in the orchestrator team in the Ceph. But I need discuss it with Rook people as well. So yeah, that's wanted
Right.
to yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about it here. That's fine. Are you
Okay.
also a member of the Rook Slack?
Yes, I'm in the Rook Slack.
Rook Slack. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Since we only have this meeting once a month, it's good to follow up in the Rook Slack.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. So should I already try to explain it or
Yes, sounds good.
how? Okay, so I'm trying to actually enable TLS endpoint for the Prometheus. I mean TLS for the Prometheus endpoint, and this PR does it. So when the orchestrator is set to Rook, so there is a default, not a default. There is a safe ADM way of uh, generating certificates, but that one is generates self-signed certificates. In case of Rook, what I try to implement here is in Rook case, it tries to read from the Kubernetes API and fetches the secrets containing the TLS key and certificate. So yeah, that's one, two. And there was a discussion from you. There is a comment from Travis, I guess, that
Mhm.
yeah, how we can maintain this functionality in long term as you do not have a tests. I don't know how to answer question, but by my idea is like we are. This is not a very difficult functionality that we are just reading the certificates and converting it to correct format. But if needed, I can try to write a test for it as well. Like, and probably someone would direct me to the correct direction. So, yeah, that's
Yeah, and
it.
yeah, right. And it sounds like this has been working for you. You've been testing it already. It works for you
Yeah,
in your clusters. So um, if that if that is working for you, then I feel like I'm okay with, okay, great, go ahead and merge it in Ceph. From Rook's perspective, though, we don't have test suites that run reliably against in the Ceph repo. We have Rook tests that run against Ceph builds, but there's no
yeah.
Rook builds that run as part of the Ceph builds. So,
Mm,
so there's not really a good place to write the tests to test the Rook manager module. And that's
yeah,
why it's been a challenge in the past that anything in the Rook manager module kind of gets out of maintenance, or nobody's, unless somebody is testing it and making bug fixes. Like if you're testing it and you see a bug, then if you're planning on fixing the bug, great, go ahead and do that. And I'm I'm sure it would work well for you.
okay.
Um,
That's yeah. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, please.
no, go ahead. That's fine.
Yeah, we will definitely. I would say we will be using this functionality. I mean, we started already. Yeah, I need to little bit make it. There were like suggestions, and in the previous hour I was in the orchestrator meeting, so they give some
Mhm.
unific to make it like similar as possible to the safe IDM implementation. What will I do? I think now I will update my PR, and then we will take this implementation uh, in our tests. So then
Mhm.
I will come back, uh, uh, and we will see issues if it breaks anything. So and yeah, just to be sure that
Okay,
yeah.
that sounds good.
Uh,
And for most Rook users, we don't rely on the Rook manager module. So I think the risk is low of breaking it because we don't use it much. So
I think it's basically broken, at least in Reef.
our assumption is it's always broken. So
I mean, we
we
have
don't.
been using it, so we manually enable it. I mean, we specifically enable it for this
Mhm.
case, and pretty
Yeah.
much we were using it. Okay, so if there is the issue, so I can come up with the fixes there as well, like the other places. Yep.
Yeah. Parth, you had a comment?
Yeah, probably I can add it to the PR. Was trying to understand, like, this is the certificate is mostly used to in for Rook to actually self-sign or like have a like have a TLS certificate for onboarding or querying for Prometheus. I would say, like, if we are creating a pod in Kubernetes, every pod have this like auto-generated certificate at this path for every pod, and that can be used as a TLS cert. And I was just thinking, like, why this special certificate it's used for with the current Kubernetes approach. But I will try to look and try to comment over the PR what's actually we are achieving with this.
Okay, yeah, I can partially answer right away. So, self-signed certificates are like we kind of think they're not pretty secure. And then this is the first point. Second point is like it's easier to manage the certificates through Kubernetes. So if we just like add the secret name, and then with the cert manager, we can easily update them, and then this is kind of automated. This would be much easier compared to the Ceph ADM approach, where they do the self-signed one. So we wanted to do this like a proper way of like secure way. That I'm not sure if I did answer, but yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I guess it's not self-sign, but it's like what Kubernetes serves to every pod that is registered by the Kubernetes server. But yeah, I guess you might need some other level of security checks with that. So yeah, I agree.
Thank you very much
Okay.
for the comments. Thank you.
Okay. Sounds good. Oops, wrong window. Okay. Any other topics anybody wants to discuss? Okay, maybe not. Thanks everyone then, and have a good day. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you.